The Big Talker, KIUL. Good morning, Southwest Kansas. His hour is driven by Western Motor. ShopWesternMotor.com. ShopWesternMotor.com. Eileen Foil, the service advisor at Western Motor, is my guest once again. Eileen, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful. How are you today?
I'm doing wonderfully. Hope you had a good Christmas and a good New Year's.
You know, days off were a little short there, but otherwise it was great.
Good.
It was great seeing family, you know.
Yes, it's always great. It's always great seeing family, isn't
Yeah,
it? It really is.
It is. That's what it's all about.
And this time of year is always important to keep track of your tires, but especially this time of year and with the weather we've had the past several days.
Definitely. We've been fortunate not to have any snow, and it was a reminder to everybody, like, oh, what condition are my tires in?
Yeah. And so what causes worn tires outside of, I think, the obvious?
Well, a lot of times, you know, what we always call our jackrabbit starts, you know, where you leave a stop sign and you're like in a hurry all the time. That has a tendency to wear them. And then also those, sudden stops, they have a tendency to wear. Also, you know, the snow on the streets, it was a reminder of the sliding into the curbs, curb checking, that'll knock your alignment out. That's definitely going to cause tire wear, and also rotating your tires. I can't stress that enough. Rotating your tires, a front wheel drive, you've got your front wheels are the actual driving force of the vehicle. It's going to pull more on those tires than the back ones are just dragging along. And that causes your fronts to wear faster than your rears, vice versa. If you have a rear wheel drive, which pickups, Yukons, that type of deal, those are rear wheel drives, you get that tendency to wear your tires in the rear faster than the front. You keep them worn more evenly when you rotate them. Also, if you happen to have a alignment issue while the person is getting their tires rotated, it's awesome that you can notice that before you actually do permanent damage to the tires, before it goes too far. You know? So, yeah, it's just very important to get those tires rotated. And I would say, honestly, align your vehicle once a year, whether you think you need it or not. People have a tendency to think, okay, I'm not getting a pull to the right or the left, I don't need an alignment. It's just like if you're pigeon-toed. If both your tires are pointed to the inside evenly, of course you're still going to drive straight, because they're still pointing inward, wearing the tire, but you're still going to not get that pull to the right or left. So you're going to need alignment anyway. So,
how often should you rotate your tires? What I was always taught is every other oil change.
Well, I'll tell you what, any more oil changes, we don't have to get them as often.
Okay.
Most people go 5,000-6,000 for their oil changes. We tell people you might as well do it while you're here.
Okay.
Otherwise, you're going to come in at 5,000, get your oil changed, and then you're going to come back at 7,500, which is what they say you should rotate them at, to rotate your tires. We know we're all busy. You know,
yes, very
time
much
is
so.
money. So we've got, it's just, we always tell people, do it while you're here, get it out of the way. That way, okay, I had my oil changed, I know I rotated my tires in too. So it's just easy to remember.
Talk about you have the quarter trick is what you have down in the notes here, but I always used a penny, I think. A penny.
Yes. Well, I tell you what, years ago it was the penny. Now they're saying a quarter because the penny was allowing your tread to get too thin.
Was it Abe's head, I think is what it was?
Yeah, top of his head. Now they're doing the quarter because now that's going to be, they want you to be thinking about new tires quicker than we used to.
Okay.
Also a tire, if you've ever looked at a tire, you'll notice in the tread itself, down in the crevice, I guess, there's a perpendicular wear bar is what it's called. And they run, you'll just see them every now and then on the tire, and it's just called a wear bar. When you get close to that wear bar, that is also a visual that you can say, oh, I'm getting close. Or I'm into that wear bar, I need tires, So the manufacturers have made it so it's a little bit easier for the average Joe to go, okay, I know I need tires. Look at that way.
Okay. All right. And then what are some other warning signs that you may be time to get some new tires?
Well, of course, if your vehicle is out of alignment enough, you'll notice you're going to have way less tread maybe on the inside than the outside. A lot of times people don't notice that because it's on the inside. It's just something you don't see. And that's why we recommend you rotate your tires every time so that whoever is doing your oil change, I hope it's me, at Western Motor, we will let you know if you've got some type of tire wear on there. Cracks in the sidewall. People have a tendency... The newer vehicles have tire monitors on there, which will tell you if your tires are low pressure. But if you let them run low, you have a tendency to wear the outsides of your tires. That also makes your sidewalls softer, which puts big cracks on your sidewalls. And then also, if you get older vehicles, people go, "Oh, I've only got 10,000 miles on my car," But age is our enemy. Your tires will start to weather crack, and usually that's in between the treads, in the actual crevice itself. You're going to see a crack all the way around. Those are a definite factor on, okay, I've got to get them changed out. Due to blowout, you might have a blowout. Usually those cracks start to leak air slowly. And of course, if you get a big bulge, like a golf ball looking thing on the side of your tires, a bulge, it's just like a balloon. The bigger it gets, the thinner that spot gets. So you'll have a tendency to blow out.
I had that happen once in hot weather. Is that tend to happen more in? Well,
you gain air in the summertime. Your tires gain air, and in the wintertime they lose air. Of course, in the summertime, the asphalt is hot. Everything's going to be, your tires are on that asphalt, and they're going to warm up, and it has a tendency to make things softer.
Okay.
Yeah, so most definitely it would be something that would happen in the summertime.
Okay.
It happens in the winter, but more so you see it in the summer.
Okay. Yep. Okay. And just how important is proper inflation?
Oh, very, very important. Like I said, if you run around with low tires, they'll wear on the outside. Overinflation, just as important. You will wear the treads out right down the center of your tire. And I see that too. People are like, well, I always make sure, but it's so important to do that. Plus, drivability. You want to make sure you've got the correct amount of air in your tires, just for safety reasons also. Stopping distance, everything is tied into that air pressure.
Yeah. And so let's talk about if folks have some needs for tires, what can the service department in Western Motor do?
Well, we have always stressed to people, if you don't know, bring your car down, ask. We have air on the service drive. We pull people's vehicles in there. It doesn't necessarily have to go back in the shop. We check your tire pressure. Make sure your tires are programmed correctly, because a lot of times, newer vehicles now, your tire does not know what position it's in if you rotate them. They have to be programmed. A lot of the vehicles, they have to be programmed. So your right front tire knows it's in the right front. Some people will go, well, it says my right front tire is low, so I keep adding air and adding air and adding air, but the light will never go off. Well, it's because it's actually on the left rear. And so you got to make sure that, like I said, if you're not coming to see me for those services, that whoever does your rotates.
You got to go and see Western Motor for that. You got to.
Got to.
You got to. But is it front to back, crisscross back to front? Is that what you guys do?
It depends on the vehicle. They'll either be crisscrossed, going from the front to the back.
Front to the back,
and then straight forward, that way. But that all
because
depends
I've heard both.
Yes.
I've heard both from different people, and so I was kind of curious about that.
Well, it just depends on the vehicle.
Okay.
Whether it's a front wheel drive, whether it's a rear wheel drive. And then there are some vehicles that run with tires on them that you can only go front to back. You can't crisscross them at all.
Okay.
And that's the directional tires, which we don't see a lot of. And that's usually the reason why, is because people are like, I don't want to mess with that. But not that that's a bad tire or anything, but It's just it confuses a lot of folk.
Okay. What are some tires that you recommend? Does it depend on the car?
It depends on the car. An all-wheel drive vehicle. You want to make sure that you buy 4 tires at one time. All-wheel drives, you've got to have all the tires turning at the same. The circumference has to be the same.
Okay.
Front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drives, you can get by with just replacing 2 tires.
Okay.
We there at Western, we carry just about anything that you want.
Okay.
Is there a specific one? You can go with a very, very inexpensive, or you can go with a very expensive. Yeah, but there's all types of options.
What about for, let's say, 2017 Escape? Front-wheel drive.
Well, see, I don't. Hey guys, I'm new on the radio. I don't know whether I'm supposed to be throwing out like names, brand names.
No, it doesn't matter. You can if you have if you don't have a preference or anything, you can just kind of curiosity type thing.
You know, we still all Michelin still carries a good tire. You know, Goodyear has a good tire. There are Yokohama has a good tire. There are Cooper has a good tire. I mean, there are very good tires out there anymore. So okay.
How can they get in touch?
They
have any
can always
questions?
Call Western Motor 620-275-4291 or directly to the service department 620-271-7841, or you can also get online at the www.westernmotor.com.
Okay. Awesome. And what's the featured vehicle this week?
Well, we have, for all you lucky listeners, listen to me. I think I'm a radio star now.
You are.
2016 GMC Canyon SLE. It's a 4-wheel drive with fuel-efficient diesel engine. It's only got 50,000 miles on it. Check it out on shopwesternmotor.com or give our sales team a call at that number, once again, at 620-275-4291, or come down, check it out. Come and see us.
Awesome. Eileen, thanks so much for the time. Really appreciate it.
All right. You have a wonderful day.
You too. It's Mid-America in the Morning, the Big Talker, KIUL.